Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports Pro League. This is the second day of the week that you've had to deal with this ugly mug, but this is the first day of the week that we have been blessed with the greatness and the god that is Guy Blaze Live, and he's been here all night long getting to call all of this fantastic action. But I gotta ask, it's been a long night. Are you still up and pumped for our match of the week?
Oh, hell yeah, Colin. It's me and you back here on the mic. We don't get a chance to do this too often. And we've had one great series already today. We get to get another one. It's our match of the night, folks. It's PK versus Fire and Ice. And we know this rivalry all too well.
Oh, yeah, we've been seeing this rivalry unfold time and time again. Even back before we did the conjoined regions of LATAM and NA, every single week it felt like that's all we talked about coming out of that region. Which team is better? Fire and Ice, Pittsburgh Knights. We go into the major. Which team is hotter? Fire and Ice, Pittsburgh Knights. Always talking about them coming out of the region. So we are blessed here for our match of the week tonight with Fire and Ice versus Pittsburgh Knights. But we have a very specific key matchup that we need to keep our eyes on for all of you at home. And I believe our key players for the evening are Monkyz versus Xploidz. And just take a look at those stats, Blaze. Those got to pop off the screen at you.
Oh, yes, they do. Now, first off, these KTs are so close between the two of them. But now the difference is that the reason why they're so close is because even though you see Xploidz not able to have the same slaying power as Monkyz, he makes up for it when it comes down to his average assists. So both these players putting out a lot of damage, but Monkyz, he's a few legs of hair. Great numbers, okay? But Monkyz gets a few extra points on the test here because that man does it all. And you can see it right there in his average score and how many kills he averages a map. And he don't even play the front spawns.
He does not indeed. And look, you said he gets some extra points. I'm starting to think that Monkyz is setting the curve. You know that smart kid in class that we all hope kind of does bad on the test, so the teacher's like, all right, since he only got like an 88, I'm going to give everybody 12 extra points on the test. We're all hoping Monkyz is that kid right now because Monkyz is setting the bar for the rest of us. He is hoping for everybody to try to catch up to his league because I said it last night. I stand by my words. He is my leading candidate for MVP of the league right here, right now. But hey, they've got to do this thing on at least 3 of these maps, or at least 2 of these maps, excuse me, and they've done their picks and bans. They've got them inside and locked, and they're ready to go. And as I look over this, we're going to start out on Vasgar. We head to District, which is Fire and Ice's map pick. And the tiebreaker, you see Reactor getting banned out by the Pittsburgh Knights, and it goes to Asylum. So I got to ask, Blaze, because we've seen Pittsburgh Knights be very dominant on District. Does that kind of worry you that Fire and Ice feels like they had to pick that in that position?
You know, it doesn't worry me just yet because Fire and Ice picked it. And when you pick a map, firstly, I know that your coach did the intel. He was able to scout the squad. This is a team in which you've been preparing to play against week in and week out. So Fire and Ice, they got something up their sleeves, and we watched them get off to a great start on District against Rise in that one matchup. It was a 5-2 victory in week number 1. Now, on the flip end, Vasgar, it's a map that PK is good at. Hell, I think the PK is good at every map. But this map is also a map in which Fire and Ice have went to the wire against Rebel Whip. Okay, went down to a round 9, and they took out Apricity on it so far. So they know how to play Vasgar in District. If Fire and Ice wins Vasgar, they got a great opportunity closing this series out on District. But I see that they win Vasgar, okay? PK, man, that's arguably, I think, probably could be their best map.
Hey, look, that's a tall task for anybody. That's like going into a Wild West saloon, seeing Wild Bill Hickok and Billy the Kid and say, I'll take that 2v1 out in the street at high noon. I'll take my best because them boys were shooters, and so are each and every member of the Pittsburgh Knights. But I don't want to mince words too long with you because we can hype this matchup all we want, but it's not going to make a hill of beans a difference until they roll out of spawn. Let's get to our predictions, and I'll start things off. Look, I probably learned my lesson after week 1. I gave them the Paul Heyman intro. I went above and beyond each and everything I could go, and I picked against the Pittsburgh Knights. They made me look like a fool doing a 2-step with only 1 leg. So I'm going Pittsburgh Knights, and I'm picking them 2-0 over Fire and Ice tonight. I'm even giving you a map count, Blaze.
All right, yo. So Pittsburgh Knights, I gotta agree with you, Colin, because I can't bet against them, okay? It's a reason why I'm leading, all right, currently when it comes down to these predictions. And this is one that I just cannot bet up against as well. So PK is going to be my pick. Now, we'll see where the chat falls, because I know that when it comes down to them and Fire and Ice, you know, they can't kind of go either way, but even the chat's going to be in favor for the Pittsburgh Knights as well.
I'm pretty sure out in the chat they're like, "Hey, look, we love y'all, and we're gonna let y'all finish, but it's Pittsburgh Knights. It's Pittsburgh. It's Pittsburgh Knights. Everybody."
Come on now.
The only option they had. All right, that's the only option they had, and
let's say this, Colin, because Fire and Ice, man, against big teams, we see a different side of them. I feel like, and this Fire and Ice roster was made to become at least the best team in Latin America at minimum, even if they was not the best team in the world. Now, you know, we see ChaoZ coming off Rebel. He's on the squad here. You know, I'm going to ask you the question. How do you feel about this new Fire and Ice roster coming to the season versus last?
ChaoZ is actually one of my favorite players on the pro circuit. Every time I see him, he gets better and better, and he's going to have to be one of those stalwarts. He's going to have to be a part of the vanguard, one of the knights that sits at King Arthur's round table and put his team on his back in situations. He's reunited with Sleeafer, and that's one of those things where you look at two former members of those old Pittsburgh Knights teams having played with Dezonide and Identivez, and they're going to have to be big for their team. But we're going to start here on Vasgar, the horse track. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all about who can over-rotate quicker than his opponent and actually play a little bit of defense at one home hill or the other. But already it's going to be a push by Fire and Ice to go home to home and try to stave off the three-man rotation by the Pittsburgh Knights.
Yeah, PK tried to hide their numbers a bit, but Fire and Ice see exactly where they're coming from. Now, instead of Fire and Ice just waiting, holding his 2-to-1 hill setup, on the other end of the map, player 1 and 5 was kind of pushing it out a bit just in case. So we'll see two clean fights, a 3v3 and a 2v2. But PK utilizing their utility to push out Fire and Ice on top of their home hill. Can they get it is the question. Enough pressure to harass and decap it. But PK is kind of realizing that this is going to be a hard one. We need to back up, and we need to have faith that SuMuNs and Identivez can win a 2v2 fight on our home hill.
And right now they're getting pushed back. That's great Lancer Fire, great teamwork, but the Fire and Ice boys have won a 2v2 fight over at the Sea Hill. So now you can play a little bit more patiently. You can try to bait them into your shotguns with a lot of extra damage. There's Dezonide. He gets one, he turns and tries to burn, but he gets taken down on with hands and knees. And the respawn rotation by Pittsburgh Knights has to come into play here very shortly. It's going to be SuMuNs first to the fight. He's going to have Xploidz across from him as well as Cristalize and ChaoZ. They are setting up to try to defend against Pittsburgh Knights. You can see on the other side of the map, there's going to be a triple cap domination being threatened. Fire and Ice, they have to win this team fight.
Melee, oh, they got a touch. But was that touch enough? The wrap shot misses. Raver does go down, but it's still two members of PK in the hill, and with number 1 leaving the fight, he cannot hop back up, Colin, okay? He just left his teammate in a fight all by himself, but Fearzly says, I have no fear. I don't need you. I got it.
The big first round. I absolutely love that kind of a statement round from a team like Fire and Ice. Last night, we got to see Pittsburgh Knights get pushed to their limit by Carnage Gaming all the way to a round 9 on a map 3. Right here, right now, in our match of the week, Fire and Ice come out on all cylinders, hot and ready to go. They're coming into round number 2. And I've preached this a lot when I watch Vasgar lately. It seems like the arrival spawn in the first half is the spawn I want. It's easier to push home to home, and if you try to come back up to that A hill, you have to fight uphill no matter which way you come at it, whether you're coming up the stairs from the luggage or you're coming up the stairs from the actual spawn point. So I want to see if the Pittsburgh Knights can be just as dominant after they switch up that spawn point.
All right, so PK, we'll see if they want to run a similar initial that Fire and Ice did in the first half, and they will choose not to. They want to fight down low at this B hill, so instead of overloading the players up top and fighting for C, they're going to keep this even up. And now we see Fire and Ice striking first, getting that first blood there on Raver.
There you go, Xploidz. He's going to keep pushing across. He's going to see that member of Pittsburgh Knights. That's Dezonide trying to escape to the middle of the map. Instead of rolling off, he actually just saves his life. Sleeper, little misroll there, will cost him his life in this engagement. 3 members of Fire and Ice, they have control over the B hill. but they do not have the respawn point to try to get the advantage over that C hill. I want to see them actually rotate Xploidz up onto that ledge over there by the B hill where the second half home hill is, and try to shoot across. Try to get that cheeky angle to add some damage into this fight to make it very hard for everybody to sit in their cubby corners and wait this thing out. But look at Fearzly. He has no fear. He shot up through there, came back behind SuMuNs and got a meat shield. They're already threatening their home hill back, and it's going to be a 1v1 at the B hill to try to keep the lead for Fire and Ice.
Man, big time players show up in big time matches. Still early on in this one though. We'll see if Fearzly can keep up that production. Monkyz wants to show him up here. Now he's looking for the second kill, saying, hey, you know what? Whatever you can do, I can do better. But he did not see ChaoZ coming from around the corner. He's able to get the revive. Couldn't save his teammate. But if he gets the kill, I'm pretty sure he'll be forgiven and puts himself in a position for Cristalize to be able to support him. But SuMuNs back and forth, dodging shots, buying time for his team, and he gets revived and cleans up the last kill there. Now, Pittsburgh Knights needs to get these heals capped in their favor because number one's flanking. That's Xploidz. We highlighted him already, Colin, and he's on the world tour.
This is going to be pretty good to see if Xploidz can get any kills or any damage here because Identivez is hot on his trail. They're trying to force him into the cubby corner. They got him down. That A hill still in favor of Fire and Ice. They have racked up a ton of points. They're only 50 ahead, though. They're going to get their home hill back. You're going to see the 2-to-1 hill advantage be in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights, and they do have the win conditions. So now Fire and Ice, they have to get one more break. They have to get one more push here. Flash grenade out. Raver is stunned. He's going to rotate out, try to hop over the cover. He will get away with his life for a moment. SuMuNs is there for the quick revive. Fire and Ice have to come away with some of these kills. They can't just keep getting downs, ladies and gentlemen. You got to trade out kills here, especially this close to the Pittsburgh Knights spawn.
But now, as they surge forward, they're able to clean up all those remaining kills of the Knights. Now, that is going to be a nice spawn right next to him. Player 0, Dezonide, he goes in a flank, gets a hill cap for his team, and wins one of the 1v1s, but could not get the next. Now, C hill is technically classified as Fire and Ice's home hill. So they will be able to get this one back, and they're going to be rotating down low to put themselves in a 2-to-1 hill setup. Currently, it's going to be a 2v2 fight at C. This is a 2v1 fight down low. This is currently a win condition here for Fire and Ice. EK needs to get the decap on C now. They need the recap too.
That's a great decap right there. They've got two members on there. They're going to go ahead and go for this quick retake. They're going to try their best, but there's a quick move by Cristalize to try to keep the hill decap. You see Fire and Ice still has the win condition in their favor, but another kill, and now the C hill being decapped, as well as members of Pittsburgh Knights in the B hill. They're taking it over. This could very well be the turn on its head, and the turn on the dime could go in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights. One more player in Fearzly's way, but the decap at the A hill never came through, and therefore the Pittsburgh Knights answer back. And Blaze, I don't know if you saw what I saw.
Yeah, I think I did, because I was going to say, I think it was Fearzly who left Cristalize in a difficult situation on top of that C hill. I saw a player over-rotate, and he didn't have to rotate at all because he just needed to have faith in his teammates down low, and everyone who came off respawn needed to go to C.
I love that we're watching the same thing. We both knew that all he had to do was have a little trust and a little faith in his teammates. Those kind of miscommunications, those misfirings cannot happen against the Pittsburgh Knights. You give them an inch, they're going to take a couple of kilometers on you, and they did it right there with a 1-to-1 round count now. And ladies and gentlemen, Fearzly is down to a singular respawn in this round. He's got 2 lives to live, and it's the 3rd round of the first half, so he has to play very carefully with his life. He can't push up and be the first to the fight. He's actually taking a 1v on the opposite side of the map against Raver. Xploidz already down. They're going to go for the quick revive on him. A lot of Lancer fire out early. There's a long-range flashbang, and it does get the stun, but nobody's going to push out here. This is going to be a bit of a stalemate, this fight.
EK said, y'all got us in the first round, okay? Running a strategy that we were not expecting, a strategy that's not typically the base on this map. So they were able to get one away. But this time around, PK, they matched the numbers and sent 4 players up top. Now, once the dust has settled, they're currently left in a 2v2 fight. The chaos going down, a flank coming through middle. PK is actually able to push Fire and Ice back.
Fearzly has stayed by himself over at the B hill. I'm waiting for them to rotate that way to get the call out that it's him by himself. Nobody else has gone over there for Fire and Ice. Look at this. It's three of them are now flooding at him, and the 4 members of Fire and Ice are actually still at arrivals. They haven't either gotten the information or the call out that they can flood towards C. Fearzly's trying to like hell to get the out of dodge, and he's going to go down just outside of the home hill. Fearzly now on his final life of the round. If he decides to come back in, you're going to see the quick Cat 5 Xploidz, and now 4 members of Fire and Ice. They're going to try to set up here and play defense. If I'm Fearzly, though, be a sneaky beaver. Wait for them to try to go up those stairs, click that respawn, and come up with that extra spawn protection.
He's in a bad and difficult spot, but also a good one, because they're like, is Fearzly going to spawn? And he chooses to right now. He says, yes, I am. I need to play my life. But can PK bait it out? Because they knew he was coming. Now he is officially gone from round 3. No more respawns. He was able to get a kill and take it to the grave. But with 4 members going down on PK, Colin, the respawn seems like it was a great idea. Would it be in the later portion of this round, and Fire and Ice having a 60-point lead?
SuMuNs is on his last. You're going to see Raver on his last. They got to get either of those kills to try to match things up. Identivez down, taken out. He'll be down to his last as well. This is a pristine job by Fire and Ice to fight back into this one in a 4 versus 5 situation. You're going to see now Cristalize go down. The quick cleanup comes through. Monkyz will have taken Cristalize down, who will be on his final if he decides to come back. They've got it. They've evened things up with SuMuNs. Goodbye, Raver. We now have ourselves a 3v4, and it's in favor of the Fire and Ice boys.
Man, they were playing 4v4, but they figured out how to turn this into a permanent 4v3. Come out here and win this round. I don't know what it is about this team, Colin, but when they play big names, big squads, they bring 100%, a level in which we don't consistently see from them. But man, I'm happy we're seeing it right now.
Look, this is exactly what Gears Esports is about. This is pride and passion. These are 2 teams. They didn't come out and they're pussyfooting around one another. They're not dancing in the middle of the ring, throwing jabs, trying to get that distance in that space. Both these boys came out here with high knees and haymakers. They don't give a goddamn what the name is on the other side of the field. They're trying to get the knockout blow in map 1. I know you got to win 2 of these maps, but you can definitely take the heart and the soul and snatch it straight out your opponent early in these games.
Yes, you can. This is going to be I think this one is going to be a 9-round slugfest as well. We're going to go the distance here, and we'll see who has the most stamina, the most consistency, and who will be the most prepared for these matches. So, off the start, this time around, Fire and Ice, they sent 4 players up top. The previous round, in which they were on that side, they sent 3 down low. So, they wanted to match it up with PK, but number 3 got caught out mid-map, but he still was able to get it down with that nade. And now on screen, we see F9 pushing up to the home hill of PK, getting 2 more kills.
Now you're going to see Xploidz. He's going to try to push in. Raver, though, teaches him a lesson, sticks to that cover, gets the easy double kill there with a little bit of help from Monkyz. You're going to see a couple of members having to come off of respawn. Xploidz, he's well within his rights to take fights whenever he'd so wish, because he was at 4 out of 4. ChaoZ, he'll be down to 2 out of 4. Cristalize, quick revive out for him. SuMuNs on his last life of the round. He has to be careful from here on out. He's going to have to play back. He's going to have to be safe with whatever he can. Now Identivez pushing up. Any kill for either team is actually massive when you can get him on that last life right now. You can see SuMuNs sitting at 0 out of 4. Now they're pushing up. Raver, he's finally going to go down. That could put him on 0 out of 4 and tip the scales right back into Fire and Ice's favor.
So big kill there on Sleeafer and Fearzly, as they're going to have to respawn now, and they will be on 0 lives. So on the flip end, those numbers are matched with Raver and SuMuNs. It's a lot of pride here in this matchup. You're going to have to see players like mainly Xploidz make some big plays with Fire and Ice, because everybody else on PK got 1 respawn remaining. Xploidz and ChaoZ has the most out the lobby with 3 and 2. Now SuMuNs will take down ChaoZ, but that's a quick revive. And PK, they're playing it kind of passively. They don't want to make the wrong play, but they're going to have to make the right one soon.
SuMuNs is over there fighting a 2v2. He's got Dezonide to his right, and you got to send Dezonide into that fight first to try to take shots. If SuMuNs makes a mistake over there, he's going to go down, and that's going to make it a permanent 5v4. Cristalize is down. Cristalize is out. He'll be on his final life as well. Nobody from Fire and Ice is getting a kill now. Xploidz has to be careful here. He's got ChaoZ to his right, but they have to worry about getting at least one of these kills. Xploidz is going to get Lancer down. Nobody from Pittsburgh, except for SuMuNs, has been killed in the last 20 seconds. And this round, ladies and gentlemen, looks like it's about to go the way of the Pittsburgh Knights, as every member of Fire and Ice is either coming off of respawn or trying to rotate back into a fight.
Now, SuMuNs made big plays at C, and before he died, he made a fantastic rotation through mid-map to help his teammates at A. Those were big-time plays using his last life, but now we are on a permanent 4v4 with Pittsburgh Knights in the lead here. They're looking to hold off this assault at the B hill from Fire and Ice. Cristalize and ChaoZ, they gotta back up. ChaoZ needs to lead the fight. Cristalize goes down and ChaoZ has to make some big plays, but he shall not. PK. They win this round. Tie it all up 2-2.
Opposite side of the map over there on the home hill, while you were calling that beautiful action there at the B hill, talking about that final fight, I kept my eyes locked to that mini-map because I said, oh, they're doing a double push here. They're trying to get over to a rivals to apply that pressure. And all of a sudden, I saw Fearzly go for a flank, but it was about 3 seconds too late. And I said, boy, they're going to turn and they going to take you downtown, Julie Brown. Next thing I know, I saw both of them get wiped off the face of the map. I said, nope, that won't it, boys. That will not it.
I'm so happy you caught it because sometimes, you know, watching all the action unfold on these maps is kind of difficult. And I will say Vasgar is the most difficult because there's so many different rotations that can be made and so many fights happen at the same time. Sometimes the casters aren't able to catch it all, but we will be able to bring you the action the best way that we can. So, hopping here into round number 5. Both these teams are going to match up here in the second half. Now, it's PK who has a slight advantage here with their spawn that they can take on throughout the rest of this map if we do go tit-for-tat in rounds. And they're able to push through tank and pick up these kills down low on top of the E hill, pushing back Fire and Ice.
Yo, please tell me you got to peep that shot by Identivez where he rolled back off that cubby corner and hit that cover. Oh my goodness gracious, good God almighty. He took that boy and he made him into a two-piece. I mean, he said, you ain't a full meal, but I'm gonna make you chunked out, and he's not slowing down. Oh my, he ain't slowing down.
He got some extra sauce as well, Colin. Look at him out here, capping up the hill. Man.
What kind of gems does he have in his crown now? I mean, to me, he's been the king of Mexico for quite some time with how good he is.
Sapphire, Emerald, man, you name it, that boy got it. Now, you see PK, 3 players on top of Fire and Ice's home hill. They're going to get this one all capped up. F9, they need to get to E. They will have a player there, and the decap comes through, so they get a breath of life here. It's still anyone's game. F9 here at E and F. They got PK trapped here in the center line, and I'm loving the cross that I'm seeing. Fire and Ice, the Insanes, cut from the same cloth, maybe.
It's very, very good. You're going to see Xploidz get taken out yet again early in the first half. He was dominant with his respawn, staying alive in what seemed to be every single fight, but now he has been taken out, almost like he's been targeted time and time again. The over-rotation by the Pittsburgh Knights gets over to the E hill in time to get that neutralization and get that hill back in their favor. They are up about 60 or so points in this matchup. You're going to see that. That's going to take a full 30 seconds of a 2-to-1 hill cap to get back in their favor. Fearzly has a call out. He knows he's got one in front of him. I think ChaoZ has to go low here. He has to try to get behind the members that are already at the E hill and try to lancer them out as they come down those stairs. Fearzly, he's taking the fight by himself. That's a 3-man defensive stand you're flying out right now, Fearzly. You're going to take one to the grave, but I don't know if that's ever the right call to take on 3 different people at one time. I don't think you were Clark Kent. I don't see no cape on your back. You ain't Superman.
But he ain't realizing that just yet, Colin. He does not forget the respawn trouble he put his team in the first half. So he takes that fight, but even after losing it, Xploidz spawns in. It's a trip cap domination coming through. All of Fire and Ice is focused in a D hill, but Cristalize falls. Now, if he was able to stay alive, maybe F9 have a better chance at winning this map. But now all these players have to scurry across. They have to get to this hill, and they can't let PK get behind them. But PK, they found out they can get to the F hill if they want. That respawn that Xploidz putting it in, as well as Fearzly. It was not a good play. It was not a good play at all.
ChaoZ, he said, I'm taking one of y'all to hell with me, all right? I ain't going down without no fight right there at the end. He gave it his best shot. They gave it their best rap. And that's one of the things that I think always gets underestimated by teams, even top talent, top caliber teams. First round of the second half, I know you want to get that 3-2 lead. I know you want to try to put the pressure on your opponent to win rounds. But by God, man, you cannot be throwing lives away like that, especially if you have any idea that it might be going to 9 rounds, which when it comes to these two teams, there's a high possibility.
And if me and you are casting it, it is an even hotter possibility, all right? As we cast a lot of final rounds in these maps. Now, I saw the stat line for Fire and Ice, and I want to say everybody was in double-digit kills and assists, and it just shows the teamwork in which they have to be able to get credited for so many stats towards these kills. But they're going to have to keep that teamwork out and stay focused and not get lost in some of these individual battles that PK may force against you.
Here they go. They're going to rotate to the tank. Pittsburgh Knights already have the back tank side. You can see two of them mounted up to the opposite end. They're going to be able to lancer out toward ChaoZ. I think ChaoZ needs to try to use that Incend to try to cut off the exit route of those two members of the Pittsburgh Knights. Instead, he goes for the single kill, which he gets on Identivez, which is a good little start. But now you can chase, but you'll hurt yourself a little bit. You come up to the other side. They could lancer out. Pittsburgh Knights are going to have the E-Hill pretty effectively. Waiting in the wings, though, Sleeafer. Get an eye on Sleeafer. I want to see this. Can somebody come away with a point? Oh, SuMuNs sees him. He moved too early. I thought my man was going to try to Batman somebody from the shadows. I was waiting for him to drop in like a slingshot.
I love the effort. He was putting himself in a position to possibly make a play for his team to get this one all tied up. Hey, you miss all the attempts you don't take there. Now, Fire Knights, they back up. They're going to be squared up for a big engagement here on top of the F hill. And we got a 1v1 hill in the top two lanes that'll stay there. Fire Knights, they don't get first blood, but they're able to trade it out and get 2 kills right after. They're looking to take control of this round. And my God, Colin, we might actually get this one all tied up. It's going to be up to number 7. That's Raver to slow down a push here of ChaoZ. And that's a nice considering nade to force ChaoZ into a different route. Force him into Raver's right hand with that Lancer, or into this fight that ChaoZ still is going to win with that fantastic wrap shot.
What a shot out of ChaoZ, but here's the problem. The best part about that play was it bought the 5 to 6 seconds that 4 members of Pittsburgh Knights needed to get off of respawn. They've already killed ChaoZ. They're flying up. They're killing Xploidz. That's 2 members down. They can threaten the home hill of Fire and Ice if they so choose, or they can threaten their own home hill because Fire and Ice doesn't have the members across the map to try to spread out and play some defense. They're going to get a decap here, but Fire and Ice is going to cross that 200-point marker, and it's going to get very hairy. It's going to get sticky here, but I believe that win condition is going to drop out, and it may be in favor of Pittsburgh if they can get a decap on the home hill of Fire and Ice, but this is a great defensive stand. 3 members have already mounted up on Pittsburgh Knights home hill.
Yeah, it's been a great hold. Cristalize has been down here at this lower portion of the map, defending this F hill, waiting for his teammates, because he know that even though overextension went through at the textbook form of how they're going to play this map, they're going to win off F and D. And I was kind of concerned with Cristalize here for a bit, Colin, because I felt like he has the most respawns for his team, and he needs to be leading the charge on some of these fights. But the reason why he got that many respawns is because of his positioning. He's put himself in a great spot to secure him some round wins. But some of these engagements that's about to happen in these next few rounds, he's going to have to say, you know what? I got to go to the next objective. I need to put myself in harm's way to make sure that my teammates are protected.
I don't care how good somebody is in the 1v1 spot. If they only have, like, if I saw it correctly, Xploidz is going to have 1 respawn coming into this round. So he cannot put himself on the front line. I know he's been the first to the fight every single round because he's that front spawn. But if you've got 1 and you're 2 rounds away still, you got it tied up at 3-3 and you're 2 rounds away from victory, you got to get there. I mean, my brother, you've got to make it there first.
Okay, and you know what? The respawn timers are getting shorter. So who will be making the big moves to concede some rounds, okay? But some of these teams will just start slaying you out, holding a 2-1 hill setup until you choose to concede. And I think that'd be the smart play if your team got the most respawns. But Fire and Ice looking to chop away the respawns here of PK, but it's hard to match that slaying power on the other end.
Xploidz has a 1v1 against Raver, opposite side of the map. Cristalize, he's going to be the first line of defense. There's the shock grenade. 3 members of the Pittsburgh Knights moving in. Nobody has the angle from that far left side. Identivez is actually going to keep pushing up. He's going to have a down there, I believe. Nobody's going to be in the area to get the extra revive, so 1 member will have to bite the dust. Xploidz will be on his final life of the round if he wants to be, and he decides to come back. Cristalize down now. They're going to go for the revive. It's not going to matter. They're going to get the quick shot off on him. ChaoZ, he's going to go down as well. They're not going to respawn in. They're forfeiting the round up to Pittsburgh Knights to try to buff up that respawn counter just a hair. But now, ladies and gentlemen, all or nothing from here on out. Fire and Ice, they better invest everything in their piggy bank to try to win these next 2 rounds because it is officially map point for the Knights.
they wouldn't, if they did not concede after that first set, after that first team fight, they would have not had a chance here. Okay, they may have lost it in that round. Now, when you guys get a chance to see this respawn economy coming up, you'll see that they got a great chance. Now, the incinerators got locked on the map. We just got shot grenades and an extra loadout for Identivez and Xploidz. Fire Knight's got enough respawns. I think there's 4 players at 4. PK got Fire Knight's got 3 players at 4. PK got 4 players at 4. And they'll be in a good spot for these remaining 2 rounds. Let's see what they can do.
Fearzly tries to go for that reaction shot, gets about a full spread, but doesn't get it down or an out. So the 2 members of Pittsburgh Knights, they win that 2v1. They're able to rotate back across now. Look at this. It's going to become a 4v3 on this side of the map. Good revive out. Sleeafer down again. Second revive comes through. ChaoZ has to move up and try to get that kill. It took him forever to get there, but they've got a lot of damage on these members of the Pittsburgh Knights. They need one more kill on the Monkyz to try to solidify the home hill and be able to press up. He baits the revive. What a move!
I love it. And he keeps Cristalize alive. Good job to be able to get that player out of cover, because sometimes the Knights, they want to get those big double kills. Now, Cristalize is still here. He has 4 respawns remaining. This has been his portion of the map this whole second half. He's been locking this area down for his team. He knows all the angles, and they'll be in a trip cap domination situation, but Raver finds a heal for his squad, and PK can fight again.
It's a 3 versus 9. Yeah, 1v1 ChaoZ against Monkyz. Monkyz has to turn tail and run back toward the middle of the map. 3 members of the Pittsburgh Knights mounted up at their home hill yet again. Fearzly, again, putting himself in the middle of 3 different members of the Knights, not giving his teammates a chance to really angle out for him or get shots on. That's twice now. He's thrown away a life. He's going to come off and be able to lance a Raver in the back, but look at this. They're actually getting to shoot members of Fire and Ice right in front of their own spawn, right in front of their own home, and they are now dominating these shotgun fights. Somebody from Fire and Ice better slink over to the E-Hill very quickly, because you're going to run into a wall of cavalry that the Pittsburgh Knights have set up at their home. Only the misroll will cause Dezonide to die in that situation. Oh my God. Oh, Blaze.
Yo, why did he just do that to him? And he's in a perfect position where he won't see him. He's like, hey guys, come here. I got you.
Oh my God.
Sleeafer gets called out, did not look right when he went that way. He was like, nobody's here. If I didn't get shot by now, but Identivez with the patient play there. So now PK, they get the E-Hill, but they lost their home hill in the process, and that's the win condition for Fire Knights if they can hold it. I told you a lot about Cristalize playing his corner down there, number 4, that Cubby. He's had all the angles for his team, but now they're going to have to guard a 2v1 on top of their home hill, where Cristalize is going to drop back to help Sleeafer out, and now they're going to have to hold the 3v3 at F as well.
Flash grenade out, you're going to see here. The down comes through on the Monkyz. Good kill by Cristalize. Cristalize now, another good shot out. They got to get this next down. He's going to try to skedaddle out of there, but they get the kill. Beautiful job. They got the up hill. They got their home hill. It's a 2v2 on the opposite side of the map, but Xploidz still alive. Going for the break to try to ensure the round. Pittsburgh Knights look like they're going to forfeit this one. Chalk it up. Raver will be back to 4 respawns, ladies and gentlemen. And Fire and Ice, they're going to have to win this next initial, because by God in heaven, we're going to a round number 9.
Back and forth, back and forth. ChaoZ almost like he wants to give his opponent a love tab right there for a second, but he was like, hold up, let me just make sure the round is locked in. Okay, we haven't won it just yet. We got this all tied up. Whew, this is a big one, man. Colin, we get a round 9, and when it comes down to this placement, the incendiary grenades was locked around before, so the locks won't be in place once again. Maybe you go center line, and the drop shot gets placed here by Fire and Ice down low at the tank. You want to force this fight here.
You're going to have to force the fight. Look, one of the things that where I just said that they got to win the initial, they got to try to get a couple of kills early in the round to try to put the pressure on the Pittsburgh Knights. The Pittsburgh Knights are going to be hella far ahead in the respawn category. It's just one of those situations where the Pittsburgh Knights, they win this initial, they win round 9. It's going to be damn near close to impossible for the Fire and Ice boys to come back in this.
One of the best M-Bar players I've had the pleasure of seeing since the M-Bar became a thing in Gears of War 4 is Identivez. So you're going to see the PK upgrade that shock into it so they can have this weapon to fight for that drop shot. And I think that's a fantastic counter. I'd rather take the 3 shots, get that insta-give potential, then have that one shot grenade. So this slows down the map, and now this is going to end up forcing PK to eventually have to fight at E if they cannot use this height advantage in their numbers to get the drop shot down low. Now, my question is, do any players on Fire and Ice have the presence of mind to get a smoke grenade of any kind? But Cristalize pushes up.
Nope.
Cristalize got the double, but Identivez got one as well, and that drop shot still on the ground. So great counter and great initiative there by Cristalize to put his team in an advantage.
He didn't get one. He got both picks on the attempted drop. He got them both. And the second one was with somebody breathing down his neck. Talk about composure. Ice in the veins, cool as a cucumber. Raver now full red. He's going to go down, but he'll still have 3 respawns in the bank to use. Meanwhile, the F-Hill is about to be controlled by the Pittsburgh Knights. This is going completely in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights as Cristalize has died as well, so the drop shot is not able even to be used for a retake. Another kill comes through. Fearzly, he loses his last life of the round, challenging a 1v3. Blaze, I'm done. I'm finished.
And this is where you get punished in the late game for making so many reckless plays early on. PK was able to close that one out. And man, Cristalize, he made a fantastic play, but we didn't see none of the drop shots get utilized, Colin. And this sucks to ChaoZ, but he's gonna have to turn that finger back around to himself because they still took the L.
It was a beautiful attempt by the side of Fire and Ice. They get it all the way to a round number 9, but Pittsburgh Knights just too strong, too far ahead in the respawn counter. And again, Identivez, I can't say it enough, man. Cool as a cucumber, cool as Billy D. Williams when my man was just, he was the highlight of anybody's life. That was a brilliant job. They get it 5-4. They get map 1 under their belt. And you said yourself that Fire and Ice got to come out firing on map 1 and get it under their belt to even have a shot in this series.
And, you know, so before Raver and SuMuNs was a part of this squad, you know, it was Sleeafer and ChaoZ. And you know that they got some rivalries here between their old teammates. And ChaoZ, he put his heart on the line. He put everything that he had there in that map. He dropped 26 kills, had 13 assists there. And, you know, it was a great effort. But ultimately, you know, PK played some textbook gears here. And they knew, taking it down to the wire, that that respawn advantage was going to play out for them in the end. And they stayed composed, and it did.
We're going to get to see in the highlight reel here shortly. There's going to be a lot of them because it is a 9-round map, and both teams really did put on a show for everybody. But the highlight that I can't wait to see again, Blaze, I know we caught it, I was watching it, was that double shot by Identivez. I mean, it is a sniper's dream to have a one-hit Aquita gun in your hands from long range, from downtown, and he hits them both. I can't explain to the people at home. I don't care that it's online. I don't care that he's sitting wherever he may be sitting. You still gotta hit those shots with one of the best players in the world breathing down your neck. I can't get over it.
So am I wrong to feel like Cristalize may have had a harder play in that moment for his team down low? And, you know, actually, you know what? Identivez did have the better play because it was 3 Fire and Ice members in that area. And so, you know, you had the 1v1 that Cristalize had to take first, and then Identivez had to take on the other 2 that was trying to chain out the drop shot pickup, and he did. But he just didn't have a third member in that area. So it was a great effort by both of them. Just a great match overall. It's always when we see these 2 teams play. Here you go, Colin.
Do it to him.
He brings it back out. Double headshot.
Like, as a sniper lord yourself, Blaze, you can speak to how great of a shot that is.
I would have gave up the drop, took my 1v1 fight, and tried to catch the drop on the way out. That's what I would have did.
Tried to catch him on the way out.
But once the dude back row, he swapped, got the headshot, and then once he back row, Cristalizes, he got in that 1 chunk range. He was able to get the down. He hit a great spread, but if he did not, that could have been the 3-piece going towards Identivez way.
There's also a part of me that doesn't understand how nobody in the comms, when they saw the M-bar get placed, go, all right, we have the spawn. We're going to be able to get down into the tank first. Somebody, for the love of God, bring a smoke grenade. I know they don't stun anymore, but vision can be everything. Ask anybody that plays Among Us. If you can get somebody to second guess what they saw, you got a chance to get away with murder, literally, figuratively, and everything else.
Yo, we gotta play. We gotta, like, granted, I know side story, but we gotta get a talent together. The UMG production. We just gotta all play, okay? I just think that's a fun weekend night. But back to this series here. We're about to be heading over towards District, and this was a map in which Fire Knights picked, and we got a chance to see him once in a pro league already. Have a fantastic performance against Rise, but this is going to be a different team here in the Pittsburgh Knights, and they're also coming off a loss in map number 1. We'll see if they can kind of pick up their energy and get that extra fight. But as we know, when LATAM teams back against the wall, they play with a little bit. Extra flair, we'll say.
Somebody's got to grab Fearzly going into this map number 2, though. He can
slow down.
If he takes, you take what? 3 1v3s in that map, and every single time you get your head completely, you get cheeks clapped. I'm gonna say it.
He think he on Astro right now, okay? Wolfpack is trying to lead the charge. This ain't San Diego no more. You got to slow it down, okay? You're playing against the Knights. You know, we've talked a lot about that Wolfpack and strategy and that aggressiveness a lot in the LATAM region, but you know, since that first event almost a year and a half ago, teams have learned to adjust towards that play style. So when they see you overly aggressive, they know how to slow it down, bait out those respawns, and force you to have to concede rounds there. And as you get towards later portions of the map, PK had the favorable side as well. It all just lined up for them to come out and win that map by a hair.
They came away with it. They're up 1-0. They go to District. Look, things might have to kind of be slowed down for Fire and Ice. They might want to play with extra passion, but again, they took a lot of silly fights, 1v whatever, and trying to get these extra kills. That wasn't what was working for you. When Fire and Ice was winning rounds, it was either with an extra rotation, somebody getting some extra Lancer fire into the fight, putting that damage in. I mean, for good Lord's sake, you got somebody like Sleeafer on your team who probably doesn't miss shots. He's probably got like a 99% accuracy when it comes to any gun that's not his Nasher. Let him get into the fight and help you out. I swear for God, if you just get some help, Fearzly, you might even have a chance to win those 1v3s, which turn the tide of the entire map, which gives you a chance to win it. But they're going to have to go to District. They're going to have to figure out where their mistakes were and try to rectify those mistakes, because it's now all or nothing. They lose this map, it's a 2-0, and it makes Pittsburgh Knights look just as invincible as they started the night. But here we are, nice fly through. This part of the city looking beautiful, looking fresh. Nobody's really destroyed anything yet, but we are about to go to and witness some absolute war.
Xploidz and ChaoZ, they're doing great slaying out their opponents here on the Pittsburgh Knights. Fearzly just needs to slow it down, let Cristalize and Sleeafer support him, and he needs to ask himself, how can he support his other 2 Slayers at the front end of that fight to help put them in a little bit better position there. Now, Fearzly is going to be number 8 on your mini map there, and they're already pressing across here. Nice back A to get that kill and trade it out. And they got the pressure here on the Knights. It's going to be ChaoZ versus SuMuNs next, and SuMuNs is getting crossed in his back. Great composure there from ChaoZ to wait for the extra help to come through.
Monkyz is going to have to try to survive a little bit longer. He's going to go down now. Raver off of respawn. He's going to challenge the juicer player, which is Sleeafer. The triple cap domination is going to be threatened here momentarily. 3 members of the Pittsburgh Knights off respawn. Cristalize needs to back out. He doesn't have any help. Finally, the rotation comes out. They're trying to get Lancer fire down here, but it's not going to help. Back up, set up defensively, allow them to come out into the jaws of your defense, try to get into those big windows and punish people. But Fearzly, he almost goes down on that cubby corner, and Dezonide almost gets him. He said, I hope you stopped and popped, because I'm going to hit your shin here in a few seconds. Identivez full red almost challenges the fight and almost gets taken down. Meanwhile, ChaoZ, he's getting chased out of B-Hill by 2 members of the Pittsburgh Knights.
Now, DK, they're going to be on top of Fire Knights' home hill. And Cristalize says, hey, I'm not down to fight that one. They hunt him down in spawn. But was Raver too aggressive? Nobody's able to capitalize off of that one. And he's going to find one more there. Xploidz was a little bit lost. Didn't see how far he got behind enemy lines. But Was that an elimination domination?
Elimination domination, and the reason for middle of the map, late in that round, something we didn't see is Pittsburgh Knights, they had 3 members on that side of the map. They spent 1 into the spawn, 1 into the info, and 1 through middle map. Fire and Ice answered with a 2-man retake in the middle of the map, take a 2v1 there. The next member up jumps into the front of info. They 2v1 the member in info, and then we all got to see what happened to Raver right there at the end to solidify that elimination domination. Pittsburgh Knights, they're not going to overinvest. They're not going to play it too silly early in the goings. But that was a great retake by Fire and Ice. They recognized, they got the information call-outs, and they got to their teammates quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, PK, you know, they know that, you know, when it's time to, you know, just hold off. We're just going to hold off here, and we'll take our battles. We'll take best battles in which we can to stay in the series. Now, on board here with ChaoZ, as he's going to be pushing top map. He's going to get a cap at B, and there's nobody in info to kind of stop him from capping up. No one able to get an angle in there, and so 2-to-1 heal advantage here for Fire and Ice. And PK is going to waste no time trying to push him out of B, but ChaoZ does not have no help. Number 9 is not looking in his direction. He's finally going to get there. And was it just enough time? Should be. Yes. ChaoZ takes out his replacement in his old duo in Identivez.
Hey, over rotation across the bottom of the map. 3 members of the Pittsburgh Knights. Look at that. Fearzly gets called out. He comes in late. Monkyz is waiting in the darkness for him. Gets the kill there. Over the cover fight. Raver's going to go in. Goes for the Vinky back A. Won't be able to catch anything right there. Raver now. Still a little red. He's going to chase Sleeafer, but the shots from the Juicer come in. He's going to be pushed out. The B hill's been abandoned entirely. Pittsburgh Knights can stop the onslaught of the point accumulation, but they need to be careful here. A lot of damage in the middle of the map. If you over-rotate and chase these fights, you can have the same elimination domination, but the wolf pack is here, ladies and gentlemen, and the fight has broken out.
Man, yeah, those are a great few kills right there for the Knights until the team kill came through. Monkyz was doing so well until Raver took him out, but PK does have a lead, and they're looking to get this B hill back. Well, they don't have the lead. Fire and Ice has that lead now, and PK just lost the B hill. Apologies. So, Fire and Ice, they got mid-map control. Their focus is Identivez here, and they just took out Dezonide, which was the only hope Identivez has. So he's going to be next on Fire and Ice's hit list, then Raver, then Monkyz, as he is the last member standing to stop Fire and Ice from getting his home hill.
Monkyz is going to try to bounce up. He's going to try to take this 1v1. Little hyper bounce there at the end for the flash and dash, but back-to-back rounds, elimination, domination, and at what point do Pittsburgh Knights change the meta? Twice now, they've been beaten to the B hill where they give up the 2-to-1 hill cap. Fire and Ice gets to put them on the back foot and then force Pittsburgh Knights to make the rotation around the map. Do we see the Pittsburgh Knights go to the drop shot here soon? Do we see them try to change up the meta, put it in cinema or bandstand, or do they just match toe for toe, blow for blow, and try to just stay in this thing?
I think round number 3 is where we'll see something center line get put down for PK if they lose 3 in a row. But for now, they're trying not to get too ahead of themselves. They know where they made their mistakes off the initials and during the rounds. We'll see if they can correct it. They're going to have to stop this B hill cap, and we're going to get a 1-2-2 from both these squads. The fight started with Fearzly here in the middle, and he gets picked on and taken out. Sleeafer gets 1. He's looking to take his next fight against Dezonide. He slows down with the stutter step. Brought enough time for the reinforcements to come through and save his life. So now, Fire and Ice will be able to get mid-map control and save ChaoZ's life.
Hey, didn't I tell you that Sleeafer don't miss shots? Like, SuMuNs is 80 or 78%, and then as he hops the cover, 3 bullets come out of nowhere like Shooter McGavin, hitting every single shot he takes and just absolutely puts him on all fours. They're threatening the triple cap domination. Nobody's going to be there in time. 3 rounds in a row. Fire and Ice, they're heating up. They're trying to take this to a map 3, and they're in dominating position here in map 2.
Turned up the heat indeed. Sleeafer says, you know what? Let me take over for a second, okay? Let me show you how you beat these guys on the other end. You know them all too well. 7 kills, 7 assists, which is a common style line that we see from him. He's always matching kills and assists. And we talked about something big going down. It's going to be the drop shot early on. And I wonder if Fire and Ice kind of finessed them to put it up there. by putting that flash grenade down low, because you know PK was going to put it opposite so that they can get even when it comes down to the weapon placements.
Well, that's going to put them ahead going into the second half, so I don't necessarily know if it's a finesse, because you're still going to be able to catch up. Two members of Pittsburgh Knights in the far back of the cinema. They're going to be shot on from those little stairwells, those baby steps. Identivez goes down. That's a couple of cleanups for the side of Fire and Ice. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh Knights, they got to be worried. They even things up at a 3-3, but they can't lose. I believe that is Dezonide here. If he goes down, that's going to give them dominating position around the map.
Dezo gets the first down, turned around for a quick second, knew he had time to get the cleanup, and he's gonna, whoa, charge in! I thought he was gonna back up to help his teammate, but he wanted more for some reason.
I think he got the call out. I think they thought the drop was right there. He probably thought that it was a 1v1 against the drop player. They didn't know that Fearzly had backed all the way inside of the juice. They need to get these marks out. Give them a chance to use those drops. There's one on the Monkyz. Raver still full red in the back. SuMuNs is there with him. Unsure if Fearzly has any kind of drop left to use. You're going to see him there in that juicer. He's actually dead, taken out, so the drop has been nullified. Dezonide gets a second kill, middle of the map. They have the positioning now, and they have the power points to use. The hop over comes through, and Sleeafer is taught a valuable lesson. I don't know if you should hop over in somebody's face in Gears 5.
I don't think you should ever do that, unless you just accident die. Because I ain't seen a single. I've probably seen 1 or 2 battle kicks work in competitive play out of the last 4 years.
And they both were mental. I'm just
probably. Well, here, Fearzly.
Oh, go Fearzly!
Behind him, and he's gonna backpack Xploidz. Pressure's getting to him a bit, but luckily his team has some advantages, but he cannot crumble and get Fire and Ice. Sorry, here's to the Pittsburgh Knights any opportunity to come back in this one, because this team has had such a fantastic start here, Colin.
Yeah, this is the last round of the half. Look, you can go ahead and invest everything. It doesn't matter. You'll get all those respawns back. They're going to go home to home here and try to put the pressure on the Pittsburgh Knights. Xploidz, he's going to get taken down and out once again. He'll be on his last life of the half. Identivez in danger, but nobody else really on the Pittsburgh Knights in danger of losing their final life. Monkyz hiding out. I'm so shocked at how Fire and Ice never checks corners. Like, everybody from Pittsburgh Knights gets to just kind of hide out, man. Like, did they all go to 00 school over in Great Britain? Are they all becoming secret agent men over there?
I don't know, maybe, okay? Maybe it's either that or they just been watching a lot of Naruto and they're just trying to be ninjas. I don't know. But DK, they're gonna hop here on top of this A hill. They got the decap, B's locked in. They got the heals that they need to lock in the last round of the half and not let Fire and Ice get too much momentum as we head into round number 5.
So round 5 of those home hills are going to switch, ladies and gentlemen, from that bottom side up to the top, as well as the mid-neutral hill. It's going to go from top cinema down in front of the bandstand. We're going to still probably have a big team fight breaking out at the cinema over that drop shot. Pittsburgh Knights can kind of dictate the pacing. I'm sure they're going to go with a flash there at the pergola to get that extra stun into the fight. Answered back by one of the own for Fire and Ice. So they're trying to keep all the utilities possible that they can use to try to keep the members of Pittsburgh Knights stunned in this initial fight. But round 5 we go into. Who's going to come away with that power weapon?
So teams have learned that they can put a big power weapon center line across from the initial secondary placement to catch up in weapon placements if they want to change the tempo of the fight. Now, double flashes are going to get put here. Raver gets in. He's able to get first blood on Xploidz. But ChaoZ, he's going to be able to trade off. And now Raver puts himself and his squad in a winning position, locking out an elimination domination there and winning 2 in a row.
So, longest respawn is of the entirety of this half. And if you get wiped, that's pretty much like an 80 to 90% guaranteed rate or win rate in that round 5 to get that elimination domination. There's the shot grenade. Sleeafer's probably going to put somebody. Ooh, this could be very cheeky. Oh, no, they're going to answer back. There we go. Fire and Ice is going to, they're going to probably, what are you doing, brother? There we go. Pergola for shock. I was going to say, I thought they were going to be cheeky and put like an incendiary or something in the middle of the map and be like, you can have the shock, all right, but you ain't getting no fire and flames in this map.
None of that. None of that whatsoever. So, 2 shot grenades to be utilized when it comes down to this drop shot. It should slow the pace down of the fight. And it looks like both these squads are going to send some players middle to get a spread and hold off this pick. Now, PK may have had the better strategy utilizing that shot to stop the pickup, taking the 2v1 middle. Now they got first blood, but they still need to win this one. And they're in a good position to do so. Drop shot picked up, but the team kill comes through, and that's another elimination. Domination. Fire and Ice got completely outclassed on that initial.
So the 3 rounds that Fire and Ice win, hell and back, are like just attrition. They take everything to try to win them. The 3 rounds that the Pittsburgh Knights have won, one of them took a hot minute to win. The next 2, both elimination, domination, both within the first minute of the round. This is getting scary, ladies and gentlemen. 2 rounds away from the Pittsburgh Knights solidifying a 2-0 victory over Fire and Ice. They got to fight back here. They got to put their hands up because I believe the ref is probably at a standing 8 count at this point.
Man, yo, hell and back indeed. And when they came back, they didn't land in Miami or Southern California. They're straight in Iceland, North Pole. They're looking cold here over these last 3 rounds, Colin. And we're going to see the shot grenades get halved here. But PK just had a better initial off that shot grenade, and Fire and Ice playing a little bit slower. But this time the numbers will get matched up. Multiple players stunned here in the center. Xploidz, he can't do much, can't help his teammate. He just got to trade shots, but he can't really do that effectively. He gets crossed out. 2 members down. The revive doesn't come through because ChaoZ got stunned for a bit. But Fire and Ice are trying to turn the tides.
That's a huge team fight. A couple of chunks come through. Another revive needs to come out on the Xploidz. They will get it. You're going to see, I believe, Dezonide back up. He's going to play defense. They're not going to get eliminated, dominated that early in this round. They're going to force Fire and Ice to win and then play defense. And another 1v1 has been won by Monkyz on to Sleeafer, which is going to open up the middle of the map if they want to rotate out that way. This is going to be a huge secondary initial. Look, you got to get that drop shot down to the E-Hill, fight off Pittsburgh Knights, and force them to play perfect the rest of this round. You get that power weapon to start. There's the drop. It's got the active, so it will get the kill on the Monkyz. SuMuNs is going to push up, try to catch Cristalize slipping, but won't be able to. One more rocket in your pocket, Fearzly. You got to make sure you connect with a kill here, or it'll be wasted, in my opinion.
Big double. SuMuNs was able to make that a 2v2 fight briefly, but still at the bottom portion of the map, Sleeafer will be able to pick up a kill and defend E. Now, that drop shot in the hands of Fearzly, I don't know if he still got the one left, Colin, but he's on our screen and he's going to be down here defending this E-Hill. His team lost their home hill, but that's going to be capped up momentarily. PK applying a lot of pressure through the mid-map. They're going to hop in info, rotate down low to E, and now Sleeafer. Only a matter of time before he gets taken out here in this position. Fire and Ice, they got to stop the bleeding. And they're looking like with this, they're going to get this shot grenade, slow down the pace, and start getting set up for the next drop.
They staggered a lot of deaths from Fire and Ice in that situation. That's how Pittsburgh Knights have gotten pretty much a commanding position over the map and trying to get back into that bandstand. They staggered 3 to 4 kills back to back to back. It was a couple of seconds apart, though, so nobody could really come off of respawn and help each other out. The kills now going in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights again. The last member alive is in no man's land. Fearzly's going to have to just try to flood toward the D-Hill. He's going to be met by the shotgun of SuMuNs. 4 rounds in a row. Pittsburgh Knights charging back in this one round away from a 2-0 victory.
It's crazy how PK can just flip that switch and say, hey, hold up, this is too close. Okay, well, yeah, map 1 was close, but that does not mean that you're going to take momentum here and get us to a map number 3. PK, they just start flexing their dominance these last 4 rounds, and they're going to go for a block on the shot grenade. Fire and Ice, they're going to have to match that. So PK, they're going to get another look at the fight they've had. They've been winning round after round, and no utility here to slow it down.
I think what they got to do is send somebody through the middle. You got to throw a wrench into the plan of the Pittsburgh Knights. They've been winning that 1v that comes out of info juice, and then they're able to put that player on the front ledge of the bandstand. Already 3 shotguns getting the down there at the front of the bandstand. They're going to secure this drop. 2 members left alive, Sleeafer and Cristalize. Somebody's got to make it away as Cristalize goes down. Now it's up to Sleeafer to live long enough to get them off of respawn and try to get them in a position to get back into the fight. Here comes the flash grenades. Xploidz is going to try to get in. They're not going to get the triple cap domination just yet, but the drop shot out of Monkyz will get another kill onto Xploidz.
Yeah, off the initial, Xploidz got jumped. It was some well-placed flashes there coming out the side of PK, blocking off his help, but I was going to say, where's the Lancers? I saw 4 players go from each one of these squads, and not one one squad decided to have a Lancer to support the other 3 in that fight. Could have possibly made the difference for Fire and Ice right there. Now, you see a 2-to-1 heal setup here for PK, and they're not going to do too much. They're going to keep this heal locked in, but they got to be wary of pressure coming in from the top portions of the map. Keep counting numbers, and they're kind of getting flustered. At least SuMuNs is having to watch multiple directions. He needs a little extra help, and I think it's coming.
SuMuNs, he's going to get that back A off. He's just about full red, but he showed no fear in that situation. Gets another kill. Still a 2-to-1 hill advantage for the side of the Pittsburgh Knights, and they are applying all of the pressure to the wounds of Fire and Ice. Nobody getting kills anymore. Backs up into the downed corpse of, I believe that was Sleeafer, and gets wiped off the face of the map himself. You can see the domination trying to be ticked through, ladies and gentlemen. This will be it. Nobody's going to make it. And Fire and Ice will get taken out 5-3, 5 rounds in a row for the Pittsburgh Knights, and they get a 2-0 victory over Fire and Ice.
Man, it's crazy how one weapon placement can just change the entire tide of that fight, of this whole map. And that's what we saw the drop shot do top cinema. PK, man, it just gave us a masterclass on how you fight for that weapon, top cinema, and we appreciate the show.
Absolutely perfect job and well done. Congratulations again to the Pittsburgh Knights. They are one of our 2 undefeated teams in the Pro League, and they have fought through a gauntlet of competitors to come out on the other side unscathed and still standing atop those final standings. But Blaze, look, we're going to have to go back and take a look at all the results from today's matches. I know everybody at home, if you got here late, you missed some certain bangers earlier in the day. So we're going to have to take a look back at all those and see how they played out for each and every one of you at home.
Yeah, man, it was a crazy one. We had some great matches to kick this day off, and now with PK coming out on top here, they are 5-0 in our Pro League, all tied up here with VQ, and I cannot wait to see how these standings shake up. When we get to them, but what you want to be looking at, because early on in this replay, it's all Fire and Ice, right? It looked good. And we were all thinking that, man, are we about to really go to a map 3 here between these two? We were excited. But PK, they showed us why they've been undefeated up until this point, and they protected their record in a dominating fashion here.
But it's the same thing that happened to him on Vasgar. They put that drop shot down, and early in these rounds when they went up 3-0, it was about the extra Lancer, it was about the extra rotation, getting the team fire in and getting the team fights to be won. As soon as they drop that drop shot on that top cinema fight, it turns into a glorified shotty lobby, and it's just about who has the better shots back there at the back of cinema. And Fire and Ice can't use the strength of their team, the teeth of their offense, which is that extra Lancer in the fight, to help out guys like Fearzly, to help out guys like Xploidz. So they end up having to fight a fight that they're not really equipped for. And as you can see, the 2 elimination dominations followed by a domination by Fire and Ice are swiftly answered by every type of domination. And that's all they did. They never went to 250. No, neither team had to go to 250. They just said, you know what? We're going to end this thing early, all right?
Rounds 5 and 6 was the turn of the tide. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, you guys got round 4, cool. The drop shot just went down. We get it. But rounds 5 and 6 came so quick from the Knights, and they ran several different strategies against them, and Fire and Ice just could not have an answer for it. So we saw that great performance there at the end, and man, what a series overall. It was good. It was a great one, and I can't wait to see these 2 teams go again.
These 2 teams, they get to battle it out here. We're not going to get the privilege of seeing them, I believe, in Pro League, because it is a single game round robin, if I'm not mistaken. So they won't get a chance to play again in the Pro League. But hey, look, there's plenty of other places to catch them to probably play each other. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. E-Days on UMG Gaming. So hey, look, I'm just gonna throw that. That's right. They'll be here tomorrow, probably having to fight it out again, because as we all know, they set the bar, they set the pace over there on E-Days with having it be invitation only. So it's always the best teams. It's always the best matchups. But look, let's go ahead and, if we can, take a look back at all the results from today's matches. and get a chance. Well, let's. How about this, Blaze? How about this? Because this is the first time that I've gotten to work with you in a while, and I don't want to rush getting out of here. Look, I might be tired. I might be tired. I might be on the East Coast, but I don't want to rush it. I'm going to enjoy my time with Guy Blaze. So I'm going to ask you, out of all the matches you got to cast today, because you were here for all 4 of them, which one probably was your most entertaining, whether it be from that main broadcast or even the side broadcast? I saw you got to do a lot of that Vanquish second match. So which one was the one that gave you the biggest ups?
The matchup that gave me the biggest up so far today had to be Apricity versus Noble. That was a fun one. It was the one where I went up against everybody and said that, no, I think that Apricity is going to come out and get this win. I don't think Noble has it today. They got a sub. They've had some issues with the start of the Pro League. But when that roster gets full force, there'd be a threat to be reckoned with. Just not today, okay? Apricity was the better team. So I had a fun time casting that series.
Definitely a good call by you. Like you said, you were the only one that gave Apricity a chance in that matchup, and they come away with a victory for you there against Noble. You were the only one to call it, and that's why you're ahead in the standings. I mean, you're even going to be beating up on chat now.
A few more opportunities next week.
Even chat went against you, and you were like, nah, y'all ain't listened enough. Y'all ain't been to Guy Blaze's class. Look, he's Sensei Blaze for a reason. He be teaching people in so many ways each and every day and each and every week. But now that we figured out, that's right, spread the love and spread the knowledge. But now that we've gotten to hear what Guy Blaze's highlight moment of the day was, which match it gave him the biggest buzz, we do have our standings, or our final results from today. The People's Champs, they fall to 0-2 against Rebel. Carnage, they go 0-2 against Vanquish. There's the big one that Blaze talked about. Apricity Esports, going 2-1 over Noble. Rise 2-1 over Rebel. UYU with a swift 2-0. Elevate losing to Vanquish with a 2-1. And then finally, we finished up the night, as you all just got to see, the Pittsburgh Knights finish the series up 2-0 over Fire and Ice, which will leave us with some pretty interesting standings. We talked about at the start of the day, Blaze, what the surprises were in the standings. So as we get a chance to look over our standings after day 4, you got to talk about the early upsets or the early surprises. What are your late game surprises?
Well, UYU has shot all the way back up to position number 3. And I know they'll be looking forward to their matches against Vanquish and the Pittsburgh Knights. But I do remember you saying that, they won't get a chance to probably play the Knights once again because they play everybody once. So that match is already done and dusted. They're going to need some help from somebody else to get that victory. But they still got VQ to be able to knock down a spot to possibly get number 2. But as we progress on down this list, as we end week number 2, day 4 of the Pro League, we have 4 LATAM teams here in the top 6 and 2 NA teams. And maybe next week we'll be able to get Rise up there as well.
Hey, look, I was going to say, wouldn't it be lovely to have kind of a rock, paper, scissors at the end of all this nonsense where Pittsburgh Knights beat UYU, UYU beats Vanquish, and Vanquish beats the Pittsburgh Knights? Wouldn't that be a hell of a sight to see if we had a rock, paper, scissors coming out of those 3 teams? That would set up perfectly for everybody at home. I'm sure that would create some fantastic storylines. But those were our standings after day 4 of the Pro League. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see more Pro League action, you're going to have to tune back in at Tuesday, November 3rd, right here at twitch.tv/UMG Gaming or over at live.gearsaward.com to get yourself some of this action starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. Rise will take on Elevate at 6:30. Apricity Esports will take on the People's Champs. But Blaze, talk to them about them last 2 matches.
Pittsburgh Knights versus Nobles. And I know Pittsburgh Knights versus Rebel, but I know the boys on Rebel are saying that, hey, if Fire and Ice can't do it, I bet we can, okay? So we'll see how that matchup is going to unfold. It's definitely going to be a great one. And then at the end, you got Hive versus Noble. 2 teams here that'll be looking for their second win, possibly at this point specifically, depending on how those side station matches break down. But that's a matchup that both these squads need to be playing at 100%. I want to see what they got. I want to see who's the 4th. I want to see who, because I think one of these guys will be fighting for the 4th best team in NA. Because for me, it's Vanquish, UYU, and Rise at the top there. So we'll see who can get possibly that 5th spot in my book, the 4th spot in my book.
Well, look, they're going to have to fight it out next Tuesday. Do not miss it. It is going to be more great Gears Esports action. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we had a lot of great games tonight. There was a lot of great games on Tuesday night. But, I mean, UMG, the hits don't stop coming. If you want to see even more top-class tier Gears Esports action, they've got E-Days tomorrow night. So if you got to get your fix of Gears Esports in before next Tuesday, don't forget to tune in right here tomorrow night. They're going to be doing their thing with that invitational tournament that they hold week in and week out. But that's going to be it for us tonight. I am Colin the Crow Clark, and Guy Blaze, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Man, hey, I appreciate you all for tuning in. It was a fantastic show. Shout out to everybody who put this together, and make sure you guys tune into E-Days tomorrow as me and Taylor will bring you guys all that action, and we'll see if we get a new E-Day champion.
Hey, look, we love you, and good night.